Listen, I'm easy to find. And then they can kiss my ass.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Mystics Talk, brought to you by the 94 Women's Basketball, 94 by 50 Women's Basketball Network. Also, Big Nate Sports Talk. Your host, Nathan Snow here. Before we get into the video, there is a few things I would like to say up front. If you have not already, the previous video for the NBA Finals Game 4, recapping Game 5 preview, is already up. This is the last episode of the evening until Wednesday. I may change the episode around just a bit because I might have some things to talk about as of tomorrow. But if I don't, be tuned in for Wednesday. As you have seen the title of this video, we are recapping the Washington Mystics. And also, too, we're going to give Week 6 rankings. Going into Week 6, again, I've taken everything into consideration from performance and overall gameplay. And from what I've seen, I think the rankings that I'm going to give are fair. I will say that some things most of us have said where there's a couple teams that actually did move up and did move down. So we'll start with that. Week 6, number 12, the Minnesota Lynx. Well, you lost Sylvia Fallows. She's out indefinitely with cartilage damage in her right knee. I would surmise this is not the type of season she expected to go out of. They have struggled mildly as a cohesive unit. Caleb McBride did not play against Indiana, and I know they got Mariah Jefferson back and DeMontis. I can't pronounce her first name. I know they got her back. Then Minnesota Lynx have just been really just a bad. Just had a bad season, and after seeing so much success, Maya Moore in the crew. Like, I'm looking at a Lynx team that just looks. There's no true identity. I question the roster moves, whether it's been signings or cuts. I'm just really confused with the Minnesota Lynx. Just this whole week they were 0-3. This week I believe they play Seattle tomorrow, and they got Vegas. Let's see how that looks. Number 11, the Indiana Fever. I gave them this one. I won because they beat the Minnesota Lynx last night after Aerial Powers overreacted with the hit, which was nothing. I thought she overreacted, in my opinion. What happened was she was looking for a foul, didn't get it. Indiana's bringing the ball up the court. Indiana turned the ball over. Ariel got the ball. Victoria Vivian's not intentionally ran into Ariel, and Ariel thought it was Nalissa Smith and caused a dust up. They all got texts, which that made no sense because Ariel was who instigated it, but that's neither here nor there. But the Indiana Fever, they're just holding on. Again, I wasn't expecting much. This is a team that's rebuilding, obviously. I thought that was the best game. I think she had 21 points and 14 rebounds. They did cut Alana Coates, which made really absolutely no sense. I really, really feel bad for her because I feel like her game is not valued in today's game. But Minnesota, Indiana, I'm not expecting anything from them. I do hold my guarantee that they'll win 10 games at the most. This is a young core, and they're learning. Kelsey Mitchell, who should be an all-star, still got Tiffany Mitchell, Danielle Robinson. They re-signed McCannon. So, I mean, I'm not really expecting much from them, but this is just a rebuilding mode, and they all know that. Number 10, the Los Angeles Sparks. Well, Derek Fisher was fired.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming, or act like I know this was coming, because I did it.
Let me be honest. Derek Fisher, I hope that he does get another job. I do question as a GM, and I'm going to keep saying this until I'm blue in the face. Everybody's not a coach. Everybody's not a GM. Ever since Candace Parker was benched and that playoff game in the bubble, I question that move. I've questioned the decision making he's made on this the tenure he's been as a GM. I thought getting Liz Cambage was a good signing. Jordan Canada, I thought was a good signing. They're very guard heavy. I don't know what their identity is. And to see a team with that kind of talent to be 5-8, that is completely disgusting. And just the other night, Liz Cambage had a triple single. I don't know how you. I mean, she wasn't out there that long. I mean, Fred Williams has taken over as interim coach, but I believe he's going to take a job at Auburn as an assistant. So, I mean, to lose by 17 to Las Vegas, like, that was disgusting. Like, I don't know if this is the beginning of a rebuild or let's just see where we go. But I've been very disappointed in the Los Angeles Sparks. Number 9, and they've picked it up in the Big Apple, New York Liberty. But Laney got her knee surgery. I saw her on the floor, on the bench. Looked like she's getting around pretty good, so she should be back hopefully in the next few weeks or so. Sabrina Ionescu, she's been kind of putting the team on her back. She's definitely been elevating her play. She had a triple-double against the Sky the other night. I consider her. I would like to give her some consideration for an MVP. Coach, I believe Coach Brandero, I believe I saw it on Twitter, something like that, on the post game, just talking about the little things. And like Crystal Dangerfield, who I believe just got re-signed again. She's definitely taking some of the ball handling away off Sabrina's shoulders. And I really do see a Liberty team that's starting to put it together. They just signed what's her name? Johannes, the guard. And she had a nice behind the back pass to Steffi Dolson. That was nice. They're holding their own. Right now they're 5-9. So I believe they play. We get them again. We got them and Thursday, and they got Seattle on Sunday, something like that. So the New York Liberty, they've been picking it up. Number 8, that team in Dallas, the Dallas Wings. Well, I have some questions. I'm being nice because I actually wanted to put them at 9 and put New York at 8. The only reason why I'm putting them at 8 is because I know the Dallas Wings have the team that can get to the playoffs. But I'm starting to question Vicki Johnson. She made some comments that were very, very telling. Actually, let me pull that up. It was regarding Isabel Harrison. Hold on, where's it at? I thought it was very, very telling. As a coach, I'm very, very confused. It's like you're asking for one thing, but you're not seeing it consistent. So this was her post game. So I'll get to the Arike and Gubawali thing, but she talked about Isabel Harrison. We need more from Izzy. She can't be here one day and then down. We need a consistency from her 10 to 12 points a game. I'd rather see 10 to 12 points versus 22, 4, and 6, just consistent so we know we're getting it every night. I really, really don't like that because a couple things. I'm not really liking the fact that she doesn't really value the bigs. I mean, she put Tierra McCowan and Owak out there, who actually had a dunk and against the Seattle Storm. Check it out if you haven't already. But I don't know if plays are being drawn up for Isabel Harrison. I don't know that. And then number two, like I said, it seems like the offense is running through the guards. Ran through Arike, Alicia, and then Marina Mabry. But I really did not like those comments. I mean, I just you can't preach consistency when you're not giving consistent minutes. I've seen her play 20 minutes here, then it's 30, then it's 10 minutes here, 15 minutes. Like you're not going to get. I think it goes both ways. I just say. You just got to get her involved more. That's what I see. And then Arike and Gumawale. Let me just say this so everyone knows where I stand. I love Arike, but she has to keep her cool. I think she has to channel her energy in a different way. What I've seen the past couple weeks, as a fan, I'm disappointed. I think to watch her, what she did against the Sparks after she missed those 2 free throws, to kick a scorer's table. Then the previous week, kicked the ball and almost hit Breonna Jones in the face. And then to watch her kick the ball, almost hit Brianna Stewart and kick it into the stands and get ejected for it. You've got to control your emotions. You've got to channel that better. I already know what people are going to say about Diana Taurasi because, the media controls and spins the narrative. You as a player, you have to channel your injury. I get it. There are times when she's frustrated. I understand it. But you also got to understand, people are going to be really quick to label you like that. And I believe in Enrique. I know some of it I think is mental. I think she's trying too hard. I think that goes to coaching. As a coach, let me help you. Let's make the adjustments, make it easy for you. So I've been I thought that was very, very interesting to see that. And I mean, she only played 15 minutes before she was ejected. Now, Vicki Johnson in that game, in that same press conference, also said, I think the incident happened in LA as well. We're on a soccer field. The video was funnier, but we're on a soccer field, not a basketball court. You have to respect the game, period. We play basketball with our hands, not our feet. So I do think the Dallas Wings will get it together. I do think this has been, in my personal opinion, a very, very interesting season so far. They've dealt with some. I know Seitu Sabli's came back from overseas. I know Tierra McCowan was coming overseas. I know Marina Mabry is dealing with health and safety protocols. So I feel like they will get a consistent rotation back. So let's see. Number 7, the Atlanta Dream. Now, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Just down the stretch, I have some concerns because I think they need, now that Erica Wheeler's out, I hope she gets well soon. She's out with an ankle injury. The offense can get really, really stale. And I would like to see how they look against Connecticut Wednesday. And I think they play Chicago Friday. Because I'm not going to lie, some of their wins have come against teams that are not that good. I'm just keeping it real. But they've actually played well. Ryan Howard has answered all the questions to the test. She's proven that she belongs in this league. I mean, I would say this. Actually, I'll take it back. The Atlanta Dream really lost 2 good quality basketball games. Other than that, I just feel like if they just work on down the stretch their offense, how to close games better, I think they've put it together. I will say this. I consider Cheyenne Parker. I would like to get her some consideration for All-Star. I will say that for sure. But I would like to really see how they look this week. Now, they lost 2 games, but they're starting to put it together. And then number 6, the Phoenix Mercury. They kicked our ass. Well, no, they beat us, but we should have won that game yesterday. They beat Atlanta. I believe they I think they beat before that. I can't remember who they beat before Atlanta, and then beat us. Diana Taurasi turned 40. Happy belated birthday. Penny, her wife Penny Taylor was inducted to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, along with the late Delaysia Milton Jones. Shout out to them both. The Phoenix Mercury are starting to put it together. I said I was fair when I said it. I'm gonna continue to say it. Give it time. They've been dealing with injuries, and also too, they're just figuring out the rotation. Then they just figure each other out, and they've actually held their own. I just feel like we got to play them tomorrow. So let's see how it looks. Now they're supposed to. Something about the State Department. They're supposed to get an update on Brittany Griner. So it's been now, 117 days since she's been detained in Russia? I think it's 117. I mean, other than that, like I said, Sophie Cunningham was dealing with an elbow injury. Kia Nurse is not back from her ACL injury. So they're kind of playing with a depleted bench, but they're holding their own. Number 5, the Washington Mystics. Elena Delle Donne did not play last night because she, as a precaution, doesn't her back. I'm still not sold. I have concerns. I really, truly do. The identity that's not, we have to offensively. I would like to see an offense that does not include Elena Delle Donne. I feel like the Washington Mystics have it, but they make silly mistakes. I question some of the system. I would like to see more of a driving kick instead of an ISO ball movement from what I see at times. For a team that has champions on this roster, I'm very shocked to really see some of the games that they've played and they've let slipped away. I thought the win in Chicago, that was a win, but the game should not have been that close. And then to lose yesterday, that without Elena Delle Donne, that stung. Now, Maisha Hines-Allen offensively, they're starting to pick it back up. I like that. I know she had, I can't remember what she had against Minnesota, but offensively, that's when she picked it up. And then Phoenix, I think it was 35 combined points between the two games. So I think it starts with the defense, but more importantly, you're not going to win. I'll get into this more, but you're not going to win basketball games if you're a poor free throw shooter, if you're shooting poorly at the free throw line, turning the ball over. You're not going to win that many basketball games or championships. That's just what it is. Number 4, the Seattle Storm. Now that I think everybody's back healthy, watch out. I think the Seattle Storm are looking like the Seattle Storm of last year. I mean, Brianna Stewart's doing her thing. Jewel Lloyd's doing her thing. I see no issues. I think they got everybody back healthy. I mean, they've been dealing with COVID, a couple injuries here. Mercedes Russell actually should be back from her injury. So I really don't see no issue with the Seattle Storm. I just hope everybody stays healthy. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So I believe they play Chicago. I believe so. Number 3, the Chicago Sky. I mean, the only really blemish on them was losing to Washington. That was it. Emma Meesman starting to really get her groove going. Candace Parker, we all know she's going to bring to the table. Van Quigley, there's no question. Julie Ullman is back from being overseas. So that's going to be more. That's going to be an interesting surprise. And Kalia Copper, she's just doing her thing. Like they have all the makings of what a championship team looks like. So I have no issue with them. Number 2, the Connecticut Sun. Just can't hit number 1. I'm sorry, Connecticut. I love you. Look, Jonquel Jones was doing her thing. Really, the Sun are looking better. They actually cut Yvonne Anderson, which is really, really weird. But I felt like the bench they had last year was fine. I don't know why they made the adjustments to it now. That makes no sense. I mean, they're doing all the right things. They just can't catch a break because Las Vegas is the best team. I really do feel like I would like to see Connecticut really get the ball in the post more. I like to see Ronald Jones get a little bit more touch on the ball. That's just me. I mean, other than that, I still have them going to the finals. I'm not backing off that. I mean, they lost Chicago. I'm not worried about that. If once they get the bench going, I think they'll be okay. And then number 1, Las Vegas. Now, questions I have. So, Jackie Young obviously went down with an ankle sprain.
What? What? And you got to be kidding me.
I have questions about their depth because I'm not really liking the fact that their starting 5 is playing 30 minutes or more. And I'm not sure if Becky Ham's taking advantage of the schedule, which I feel like she is. But I'm not liking that because down the stretch, you need bodies. I know Chelsea Gray went out with an injury against Connecticut. Jackie Young went out in that game against Connecticut. This is what I talked about in the draft. They needed to address the depth, and they didn't do that. Don't get me wrong, Kirsten Bell was a good pick, but I was confused on the Maya Hollingshed pick. I think they could have used another guard. So that's my only my concern is the injuries, and just down the stretch you need to preserve. I just don't think that's not good. Your bench, I never seen a bench not produce anything offensively. That just can't happen. That can't happen. Now we can finally talk about that performance yesterday, the Washington Mystics versus the Phoenix Mercury. We lost in overtime. The final score 99-90.
I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's embarrassing. And I'm ticked off. It don't make any sense. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. And something needs to be done about it. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
That was one of the most disappointing games as a Mystic fan I ever saw. We gave them that game. We gave Phoenix that game. I thought they did a horrendously bad job on the defensive side of the ball on Skylar Diggins. I'm going to keep pointing to it, the turnovers. I thought Phoenix down the stretch, they started playing 2-3, 1-3 zone. And Washington didn't take advantage of whether didn't use a high post. They didn't attack the zone. It was just bad. Watching Coach T in the post game, when someone's mad, you can just see it all over his face. We should have won this game. I thought the giving up the 4-point play to Skylar going on the fourth quarter, I knew from the fact I knew we were gonna lose the game. Dana Taurasi fouled out in overtime. once again, I just question the offense. I just don't think you're going to win games, where the ball movement is the ball movement's got to be better. I mean, I just nothing was clicking offensively. I mean, no matter where you looked, offense just discombobulated, defensive breakdowns. I mean, I just felt like I just that's what I looked to me. I mean, like, I agree. Washington took too many threes, but I would like to see them drive and kick and do something, draw fouls. I mean, you've got Natasha, Ariel, Shakira, Maisha Hanan that can do those kind of things, but it's like the system, they won't do it. I just don't understand that. To see practically everybody, with the exception of Shatori Walker-Kimbrell, everybody was -6 plus or minus differential. I mean, Alicia Clark had 12 points. Maisha had 18. Shakira Austin had 12. Ariel Atkins had 15. I mean, the fact that they had no players drawn up for Shakira and she had to get her own going, that was really interesting. I thought she did a really good job on Tina Charles. I mean, Tina Charles from three missed 7 straight shots. They just didn't really do a good job on the defensive side of the ball. And on top of that, like, to have 20 points from Diana Taurasi and then Skylar Diggins, she carried them to that win. I don't care what anyone's going to say. She beat them. She single-handedly whooped our ass.
What the hell was that? Hey, what the hell? You freaking kidding me?
I mean, when I look at the game, there were 12 lead changes and 13 ties. I mean, Phoenix shot as a cohesive unit 51% from the field. Compared to us, we shot 40, 27% from 3. The pace has got to be better. We got to take smarter shots. Like, you're not going to win basketball games when you're turning the ball over. Look, where's my stat sheet at? You're not going to win ball games when you're turning the ball over 18 times. That just won't happen. Cutting down the turnovers and shooting threes and being consistent, whether it's from the field or threes, is essential to whipping ass. And what I saw last night.
So when are we going to say something about it? You know what? I'm going to walk away. I'll be right back because I'm scared I'm going to say something that might get me in trouble because I'm pissed. I'm pissed.
I knew the game was over. Like I said, when Skylar hit that 3-point play, and then Shea Petty from Washington Mystic hit a game when it hit the dagger layup, which made it 95-87. I knew the game was over. I mean, Ariel Atkins and Maisha Allen, they got us going in the fourth quarter. I mean, they scored every freaking point in the fourth on an 11-4 run. But again, poor defensive stops. I question some of the shooting. But the last play to win the game, that made no sense. You're not going to the fact that you're held to 5 points in overtime.
Could have, would have, should have is the difference of what I'm talking about. The good teams don't come in and say could have. They get it done. All right? It's that simple. I'm tired of saying could have, should have, would have. That's why we ain't good enough yet. Because we're saying could have and they ain't.
I mean, Would it have made a difference if Deladon was out there? I don't know. It probably could have. But I would like to start seeing an identity offensively that does not include Elena Deladon. At some point, we're going to have to get Pat. We're going to have to. That day is going to come at some point, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that was hard. That was embarrassing. I'm sorry to say, they deserved to lose that game. I don't know what else you want me to say. We play them again Tuesday, tomorrow. So I'm hoping that there's a better outcome than Sunday. I really do, which I expect. But I mean, that was, as they said in the post game, that was a wasted opportunity. Now, you want to tell me Coach T's response? I'll give it to you. This was his response.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked, or the second half. We just got our ass totally kicked. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't make a first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half.
That's kind of what it looked like in overtime. We just got our butt whooped. Now I'm going to play the post game interview. It was short. I couldn't even ask a question. I was fuming. I was pissed. What are you, as a coach, as a player, as a reporter, what are you supposed to say after you watch a team collapse in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter and in overtime? What are you supposed to say? Let me just play the clip.
Tonight on the offensive end, can you kind of describe a little bit what was happening there? Turnovers, 20 turnovers, shot selection, missed opportunities around the back.
Okay, hold on. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, if for some reason it stopped playing. Let's try this again. Just had to refresh it.
Tonight on the offensive end, can you kind of describe a little bit what was happening there? Turnovers, 20 turnovers, shot selection, missed opportunities around the basket. We had plenty of opportunities to open the game up. And we went down one stretch with all those offensive boards and never connected. We were up 6. Let them back in. Fouled 3-point shooters several times in the game. I don't think the last one was. I don't think there was any contact on the last one, but not refereeing. So, is this one more frustrating than other ones? Yes, this is the most frustrating one of the year. Chance to be a good offensive team because we're playing good defense for the most part, and we let them off the hook.
What did you, I know you're not going to give us your game plan, but how did you kind of approach going in, trying to defend Tina, but also not pay too much attention to her with everybody else they've got?
Honest defense. There was nothing special about it. A good defender on her and trying to make it hard for her to catch the ball.
Do you feel like, for the most part, that went well?
Yeah, we made a couple mistakes. She got a couple pick and roll situations where we were late to help. I was more concerned with our defense that we didn't do a good job. Skylar in particular, and to us, you have any one little stretch that she always does. She makes 2 or 3 big shots in a row, and that's why she's the GOAT. But there's just too many opportunities to be wasted.
Coach, the free throw issues tonight, is this a ongoing issue in your point of practice, or is it just an off night for the team?
Well, I think the free throw misses generally were people who have been struggling at the line anyway. Shakira's done a little better than that, but we just had plenty of opportunities. But percentages play out, and they were about what they were.
I couldn't even ask him a question. Just look at him.
Anybody else?
Nothing on Zoom, Coach. You're all set.
Thank you.
That's fine. Thank you, Scoop.
See that?
What Tuesday, so right from the jump, let them know that it's not gonna be easy. We're not gonna get the lead.
Wasn't the most efficient night offensively. What was just going on that side of the floor?
Sometimes shots just don't fall. I think these are good shots that we were taking. These are shots that we normally take every game. It just weren't falling.
Overtime. I guess what was the conversation like before you guys kind of started there? Did you guys feel right? Feel like you're bouncing the right way, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
go that
I mean, going into overtime, I felt like we thought we were gonna win the game, and it just didn't go that way.
Like Shakira and her progression so far this season, what have you enjoyed about her game? How have you helped her?
To be honest, I think that's just confidence in her. Just just being more aggressive. I feel like she's definitely starting to come into her own and just being more aggressive. I actually remember when she first got here, we were playing pickup, and every time she got the ball down low, she would always kick out or catch a rebound, just kick it back out. Now she's actually taking her time. Footwork is great. She's not putting the ball down as much and just going straight up and getting contact. So that's how she's getting a lot of N1. So I mean, just her progression so far is amazing.
I was about to ask you about the defense. I was going to ask about the defense. What allowed kind of Sky to kind of get loose today?
I mean, she leads the league in paint points, so she does a good job of being patient on ball screens, and getting to her spots. So we really wanted to disrupt that and clog that. I think they did a good job of using who they wanted at ball screens so that she was able to kind of do what she wanted. And I mean, she's a solid player, so she's going to do what she can to get to the spots that she wants.
Was it a chippy, emotional game? It seemed like that from afar. I'm not sure about how it felt like for you guys on the floor, but it seemed a little bit physical. It seemed like folks on both sides were a few technicals. Was it that kind of game?
I mean, I feel like that's how Phoenix is all the time. Regardless of their record, regardless of the season, they kind of, that's where they get a lot of their energy. I think we were kind of who we are. Try not to let that get to us, but I think that's honestly how Phoenix is a lot of the time. So we can't let that affect us.
Appreciate it.
Andra?
There's nothing on Zoom, so if there's no more questions from the room, you guys are all set.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, y'all.
What are you supposed to say after a loss like that?
This is a game we can just throw away. I think we have to definitely learn just to be tougher. That's what Wilson talked about in the locker room. Just gotta find that grit. When we play with that, there's nothing anybody can really do. So we can never just stray away from that. So we have to be able to bring that on the road.
What was the message that Alicia had for the huddle after the game?
Like I said, we just have to be tougher. We can't let somebody come in our house and play harder or want it more than us. That's just unacceptable. So that we took this loss to the head, and we just got to take it on to the pick.
Any other questions from the room? All right, Kira, you are all set. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Garrett.
Don't know though. I really don't. I'm very disappointed. I know they'll bounce back tomorrow. I do see the Mystics going off. I do, but for the Phoenix Mercury, a team that doesn't have Brittany Griner, that's dealing with injuries, to come in our home, and outplay us like that was embarrassing. And we deserve. We should have lost. And that was embarrassing to watch.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Skip. Good Lord. Thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man.
That's the end of the video. Y'all have a good night. Stay up.
Listen, I'm easy to find.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.
And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.